Much appreciated. Let's move to the wrap-up for today. This is the wrap-up for the live market open for Tuesday, April 19th. Positive mood in markets, risk on, and which also evolved into a big dollar sell-off. So it's a big turnaround from yesterday. We had a fallout from oil. We had a collapse in oil prices, or fall after the Doha disappointment, the Doha debacle. The members of OPEC and non-OPEC countries did not manage to reach even any kind of general agreement. But after the big fall, we had a profit-taking, a strike in Kuwait that limits production, and a turnaround in oil prices. Oil has closed the gap, and commodity currencies are even surging higher, especially AUD and Kiwi. We'll look at that soon. Markets ignore what Rosengren, the Dove, said. The president of the Boston Fed said investors are too pessimistic, that wages are picking up, that rates will be rising faster than markets think. Does he imply a more hawkish Fed decision next week, maybe hinting about a hike in June? It doesn't seem so. Markets are not buying it whatsoever. They listen to the more important people at the Fed, which are Dudley, number 3 at the Fed, and Yellen, number 1. Fisher is yet to talk. Anyway, yesterday we also had, the RBA complained a bit about the Australian dollar. Let's look at the charts during this wrap. Starting with euro dollar. Euro dollar is now making an attempt, so far not really succeeding in breaking back to the previous range of 113.35 to 114.60. So this line, watch this space, 113.35. Support is at 112.50. Relatively still frustrating moves in euro yen. Much bigger moves in euro dollar. In pound dollar, we're seeing bigger moves. Quite a big recovery, hopes for the success of the Remain campaign, and mostly a US dollar sell-off. Next resistance line is 143.65, support at 142.80, and 141.25 is lower support. Dollar yen, now hugging the 109 levels, the pair recovered on the risk on sentiment. The yen weakened. Earlier we've seen just the US dollar sell-off, now it's not so much that way. Anyway, 110 resistance, 107.65 support. Dollar CAD struggling with the lows. The recovery in oil prices. Canadian dollar is recovering more than oil prices, I would say, but not breaking to new ground. 127.50. I would watch 127.50. Above this line, 128.30 and 129.30. 125 is the big level below. The Aussie dollar is reaching new ground. It touched for a few seconds above the 78 level, just below this level at the moment. 78.40 is resistance, followed by 79 and 80. And the Kiwi dollar made a break above 70, now is struggling with resistance. It is trading at weak resistance that was support in the past. Anyway, here we are. Events that we have for today, and that will also answer the question about the pairs to watch. So the event for today, European morning is a bit busy with the current account, and more importantly, the German zoo figure. Expectations are for better economic sentiment. I have a bit of doubts about that. At 12:30, we have the building permits and housing starts in the US. Usually they tend to offset each other. And then it's back to commodity currencies. These are the pairs to watch for me. So we have a speech by Glenn Stevens of the RBA, Stephen Poloz of the Bank of Canada, and we have milk prices in New Zealand. We also have in the middle a speech by Mark Carney, a Canadian, but of course from the Bank of England. So I would say we have a little bit of everything today, but I would still focus a bit more on oil prices, on the Canadian dollar, because we have a mix of the speech by Poloz. There's still a focus on oil prices, and the Canadian dollar has yet to break to lower ground. So I think it's a break or bounce moment for the Canadian dollar, and this is the most interesting pair to watch. Second in line, I would say the Australian dollar, because we had the RBA meeting minutes and now a speech by Stevens, all right? And And yeah, also the Kiwi, well, third one, I would say. So it's mostly commodity currencies. Most interesting one for me today is the Canadian dollar. All right. So I guess that's it. We covered events for today, events from yesterday, mood in markets and charts also in this wrap up. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Wish everybody a safe and successful day in markets. We'll be here tomorrow. We hardly talked today about the ECB on Thursday. We'll talk a bit more about that tomorrow, and of course, much more on Thursday and on Friday, the before and after. And that's it. So thank you, everybody, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.